Seobok represents the pioneering human colony, growing twice as fast as regular humans due to advanced genetic engineering. His unique cells hold the key to curing all human illnesses and significantly extending lifespans. However, amidst this groundbreaking progress, conflicts arise. In a parallel storyline, a doctor's mysterious demise by a drone hints at dark forces at play. Introducing Min Ki-haeon, a Korean intelligence agent, is battling a brain tumor. International tensions escalate as the U.S. deems Seobok a perilous experiment, prompting drastic measures to secure him. Ki-haeon was summoned by Chief An for a clandestine national mission, shrouded in secrecy. Uncertain of the task at hand, he was directed to a port where a significant encounter awaited him aboard a large vessel with Dr. Shin. Inside a Suwon research lab room, Ki-haeon embarked on a journey exploring various chambers. In one room, he met Dr. Im, Seobok's genetic progenitor, the sole human possessing Seobok's DNA. Dr. Shin revealed Seobok to Ki-haeon, elucidating the remarkable abilities and unexpected developments in Seobok's lineage. Seobok possessed unparalleled brainwave strength, capable of manipulating natural elements through sheer thought power. Amidst this revelation, Ki-haeon's abrupt sneeze unveiled an underlying ailment, a brain tumor. Dr. Shin, foreseeing Ki-haeon's limited lifespan, proposed a groundbreaking clinical trial employing Seobok's capabilities to potentially save Ki-haeon's life, setting the stage for a daring medical intervention with unforeseen consequences. Ki-haeon, realizing his mission to rescue Seobok, received Chief An and Dr. Shin's endorsement to join the experimental trial. Chief An's involvement was crucial, necessitating Ki-haeon's participation in the trial. Upon agreeing, Ki-haeon observed the daily injection regimen on Seobok, inquiring about the medication administered. Dr. Im explained that the injections contained an anti-cancer drug crucial for regulating rapid cell growth, pivotal to Seobok's survival. Seobok, immune to diseases, remained vulnerable to external threats. While on a journey, Ki-haeon engaged with Seobok, facing probing questions that left him perplexed. As the team learned of potential obstacles, Chief An covertly revealed undisclosed plans, urging the transfer of Seobok and Ki-haeon to American authorities, unraveling a new chapter of intrigue and uncertainty in their mission. During the chaos, a violent clash ensued, culminating in a fatal accident that claimed the lives of all police officers. Chief An, monitoring the events from a CCTV screen, remained unaware of the assailant's identity. Inside the vehicle, Ki-haeon attempted to shield Seobok but was ejected, unaware of his displacement. Subsequently, Ki-haeon involuntarily urinated while bound. Seobok, bewildered by the situation, witnessed Ki-haeon's efforts to free himself with nearby scissors. In a tense moment, an intruder attempted to inject Seobok, prompting a defensive psychic attack that incapacitated the assailant. As the vehicle lurched forward, revealing a deceased colleague, Ki-haeon took control, fending off pursuers one by one in a desperate bid for escape. The car careened out of control, prompting Ki-haeon to contact Chief An for safety updates. Chief An directed them to a secure base nearby, planning their retrieval upon arrival. However, the dysfunctional vehicle forced Ki-haeon to proceed on foot with Seobok. During their journey, Seobok questioned the danger surrounding him, leading Ki-haeon to explain that Seobok's eternal nature made him a target for his advanced technology. Ki-haeon clarified his protective stance, emphasizing their intertwined destinies. At a traditional market, Seobok's fascination with the surroundings vexed Ki-haeon, who then decided to purchase clothes for him to blend in. Their trek culminated at the headquarters as instructed by Chief An, where Ki-haeon assumed a defensive stance, while Seobok curiously observed. After a heartfelt dinner where Seobok relished his first taste of noodles, Ki-haeon learned of Dr. Im's maternal relationship with Seobok. Unexpectedly, two mysterious individuals arrived on Chief An's orders, revealing a treacherous intent to eliminate Seobok. Despite Ki-haeon's defense, a fatal confrontation ensued, thwarting the attackers' lethal plans. In a swift move, Ki-haeon struck one of the assailants while Seobok unleashed a destructive psychic attack in the room. Amidst the chaos, a phone call was interrupted, answered by Ki-haeon, who received an unsettling demand from Chief An to eliminate Seobok due to the unrest he caused. Realizing that killing Seobok would mean forfeiting his chance at a cure, Ki-haeon defied Chief An's order, leading to a confrontation. Seeking guidance, Ki-haeon reached out to Dr. Sin, who revealed Mr. Kim's directive to bring Seobok and Ki-haeon back to the lab promptly. Despite the plan to return home, Seobok insisted on a detour to Ulsan, withholding the purpose from Ki Hyun. Threatening to depart alone with stolen funds, Seobok persuaded Ki Hyun to accompany him to the undisclosed destination. During their journey, Seobok suddenly vomited blood due to a lack of supplements, causing Ki Hyun to worry. However, Seobok reassured him. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim questioned Chief On's motives in a video call, suspecting betrayal. A heated debate ensued between Mr. Kim and Chief On, leading Mr. Kim to doubt Chief On's intentions. It was revealed that Mr. Kim was collaborating with their faction to relocate Seobok discreetly, while Chief On aimed to contain the experiment to avoid exposure. As Ki Hyun refueled at a gas station in the city center, he discreetly contacted Dr. Shin about Seobok's deteriorating condition. Dr. Shin emphasized the urgency of returning Seobok to the lab promptly to avert a life-threatening situation. Meanwhile, Seobok wandered into a mini-market, fixating on certain items, leading to a scuffle that resulted in chaos. Ki Hyun, alarmed by Seobok's disappearance, began searching frantically. Following the explosion, Chief On rediscovered their location and ordered his team to shoot them if found. Ki Hyun paused, suggesting a return to the lab, sparking a disagreement with Seobok. Seobok questioned Ki Hyun's motives, suspecting his care stemmed from self-interest. Ki Hyun, frustrated, admitted his selfish intentions, leading to a confrontation that triggered a change in Ki Hyun's health. By the beach, Seobok reflected on his past with his mother, realizing her exploitative motives. Ki Hyun awoke to find Seobok contemplating his inability to experience sleep, prompting Ki Hyun to offer an apology for his deception. At times, Ki Hyun grappled with whether his desire to live stemmed from fear of death. Recalling a past incident where he and his colleagues uncovered illicit activities by the Korean intelligence agency, they intended to expose the truth, but Ki Hyun hesitated. During a gathering with his colleagues, they mysteriously fell unconscious. Chief On's son arrived, prompting Ki Hyun to consider retrieving evidence from their phones, only to realize Chief On's involvement in a planned assassination, leaving Ki Hyun burdened with guilt. Ki Hyun wept, feeling remorseful as he believed he should have been the one to perish. Utilizing his unique abilities, he sought solace and connection with nature. The birds gathered around Ki Hyun in his sorrow. Seobok then requested to be taken to a church in Ulsan. Upon arrival, Seobok unveiled a locker containing ashes and photos, revealing his identity in the images alongside his deceased parents. It was disclosed that Seobok and his father had perished in an accident, leaving Dr. Im, who had raised him, grief-stricken. To lighten the mood, she nicknamed him Seobok. Seobok grappled with a fear of death and the overwhelming concept of eternal life, unable to mask his sorrow. Following this, they resumed their journey. Seobok eventually requested to return to the laboratory as he felt displaced. Shortly after, Seobok vomited blood once more, causing Ki Hyun to become frantic. Unable to witness Seobok's distress, Ki Hyun swiftly drove back to the laboratory. Meanwhile, Chief On readied a security force armed to the teeth. They possessed intel on the mercenaries responsible for the recent abduction of Seobok and Ki Hyun. These mercenaries, operating out of Southeast Asia, were hired guns willing to undertake any task for a price, acting on Mr. Kim's orders. While Ki Hyun sped ahead in his car, he was soon intercepted by the pursuing police. Despite warnings, Ki Hyun evaded the authorities in a high-speed chase, eventually being apprehended along with Seobok and taken to the lab unconscious. Chief On reached out to Mr. Kim, revealing his awareness of the mercenaries employed by Mr. Kim to seize Seobok earlier. Mr. Kim confessed to the act, citing prior knowledge of Chief On's collaboration with the U.S. as the reason behind his actions. In response, Mr. Kim swiftly acted. Chief On's additional forces secured the perimeter of the lab, with Mr. Kim overseeing their arrival. Had he harbored any connection with Seobok, Mr. Kim might have used the assassination attempt as leverage against Chief On. Meanwhile, Ki Hyun journeyed back to Seoman and visited Seobok in his quarters. He also consulted Dr. Shin about their true intentions regarding Seobok. It appeared that they planned to conduct an extraction procedure on Seobok by harvesting his bone marrow and extracting EPS cells daily for a month. The EPS cells would then be used for testing on Ki Hyun. Ki Hyun understood from Dr. Shin that Seobok was essentially a test subject created through ocular research, though the reason for Seobok's selection remained unclear. This realization led Ki Hyun to grasp why Seobok desired to return to the lab, a lack of purpose in his life. Feeling empathetic towards Seobok, Ki Hyun implored Dr. Shin to halt the operation, provoking a tense moment where even security lowered their guard. In a heightened emotional state, Ki Hyun reached for his security weapon. Ki Hyun launched an attack on Dr. Shin and then brought him to Seobok, urging him to halt the device. Dr. Shin explained that if Seobok's device couldn't be deactivated, Ki Hyun inquired about Dr. Im, who had passed away. Previously, Dr. Im had resisted Mr. Kim's experiment, as her DNA was the sole match with Seobok. Due to her defiance, Dr. Im met her end. Subsequently, Ki Hyun attempted to shoot Mr. Kim was promptly restrained by security and escorted out of the room. Out of nowhere, Seobok's face lit up with a smile as his eyes fixated on his deceased mother. Dr. Shin, realizing the gravity of the situation, attempted to intervene but found himself powerless against Seobok's abilities. Seobok, consumed by a mix of grief and fury, used his powers to manipulate Dr. Shin, resulting in a tragic end for the doctor. The loss of his mother was a pain Seobok could not bear. With each passing moment, Seobok's fury intensified until it reached a breaking point. In a display of overwhelming power, he unleashed all his forces at once, leaving Mr. Kim deserted and vulnerable. The sudden turn of events signaled a shift in power dynamics, with Seobok now standing alone amidst the chaos he had wrought. Over time, Mr. Kim slumped in his wheelchair until his demise. Simultaneously, Seobok, fueled by rage, razed the laboratory area. Witnessing Seobok's approach, Mr. Kim's troops prepared themselves and opened fire as Seobok neared. In a fit of anger, Seobok retaliated, unleashing a bomb that decimated all of Mr. Kim's forces. Meanwhile, Ki Hyun, regaining his composure, raced towards Seobok in his car. Mr. Kim, in a tank car, engaged Seobok in a fierce confrontation, disrupting his control. Ki Hyun rushed to shield Seobok, prompting a desperate struggle where Mr. Kim relentlessly targeted Seobok until their cars collided, sending them flying. Encouraging Seobok to flee, Ki Hyun's plea was met with Seobok's determination to confront Mr. Kim and his troops. With his remaining strength, Seobok obliterated the ground beneath, causing a collapse that swallowed the rest of the forces. Seobok underscored that as long as he lived, chaos would persist, emphasizing that his death would bring an end to the turmoil. Subsequently, Seobok implored Ki Hyun to end his life, aware that his demise would follow. Despite the reluctance, Seobok conveyed the inevitability of death. This realization spurred Ki Hyun to fulfill Seobok's wish. In the final moment, Seobok accepted his fate without resistance, sustaining injuries. Approaching Seobok, Ki Hyun tenderly expressed that if he felt tired, he could rest eternally. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.